exact guilt. There is no difference. There is no level of fear. There's only one fear. Literally, one emotion. That's it. So when it comes to doing the things that you want to do, instead of looking at it as, oh, this is the worst fear that I've ever had in my life, just think about the last thing that you were afraid of, the most irrational thing that you were afraid of, and just look at the fear as that. If you look at the fear of the thing that you want to do as something irrational, and you just do it anyway, eventually your confidence is going to be so far through that the fear would eventually turn itself into an irrational fear anyway. And then you'll know it's irrational, and then you'll just be like, I don't even know why I was afraid of that in the first place.
What are you doing today that makes you better than the person you were yesterday? That is part of the Ascension brand. That is the motto, the heart of what we stand for. When I pass away, I want people to know. I want people to remember me, not for the time that I've spent on this planet, but for the things that I have done to contribute to society. My mama raised a loser, but I broke the chains. I wasn't made to be a player, I was made to build the game.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Dirty Trunk Podcast with the elephant as always. Welcome. It is me, your boy Marcus Morton. Always here with me is the Aaron Mack, and we're back in the lab again.
I don't know about Marcus, but I'm pissed. No, we are not in the lab. That's the thing.
Uh-oh.
We got back into the lab, and then we failed in the lab, and now we back on we back on Zoom on Discord.
That's cool.
I'm pissed.
It happens. We dropped the ball on a very good episode. We're gonna just chalk that up to
golden episode. That was the $1 million viral video of the year episode right there. And I sat back and I looked at a few little clips of it, and I'm like, yo, this was like, I was like trying to figure out how, like, if I could save the joint. I'm like, I could run it through a sound processor. I could like take the audio and redo the audio, kind of like add some compressors on it and all that other stuff like that. I'm like, yo, I can do that, right? And I let Alyssa hear that joint. She was like, no.
I mean, we could do it like how they make like movies and shows and whatnot. You know, we each sit there and wait for our part, and we just redo the audio individually.
Bruh, I'm not doing a lip read to the podcast, bruh. I'm not doing that. That is horrible. Horrible. Man. Can you imagine, bro? Can you imagine the weird energy in that? Like, you just trying to like picture yourself and like see the look on your face and try to match that same energy, especially during the interruption part that we got in the middle of that joint, where man. I had to do it. I had to break in the middle of a conversation and then keep going after the fact, bro. There is no way. First of all, my brain don't do that. I'm just
my brain don't do that.
I ain't be able to do that. Like, hey, big ups to the dudes that be doing bad lip reading. What is it? Horrible lip sync. Bad lip sync on YouTube, bro. Big ups to those dudes, man. I think that's a genius level talent. It's literally people got to go to acting school to get that joint done. Do stuff like that too. So
come on,
yeah, man. Yeah, bro. You gotta go to acting. You take acting classes to get that done.
Word. Okay. All right. But yeah, we're gonna chalk that up to one of those lost episodes. So maybe y'all see that down the line when better technology comes out. Maybe we can salvage that. Maybe not. Maybe we'll just give it to you raw.
Hey, I was thinking about doing that, but Alyssa, hey, look, Boston Falls said after we had a conversation about trying to control my spending, this happened, and Alyssa told me that I can just go ahead and get the new mixer. Boston Falls.
That's a false move. That's a false move. That's like you buy like a a $4 drink or something, or $2 drink or something, and then you go out with your significant other, and y'all go to this nice restaurant, and you feeling good, you want to splurge on some alcohol or whatever, and then she tell you you got to control your spending. What?
Or like go shopping with your girl and she can get anything that she want, run up the check, and then once you like, hey, I think I want this over here. You don't need that.
Yep, yep.
I
Oh
don't
man,
necessarily have that problem, but I heard there's some dudes out here who do. So,
it's crazy, crazy.
hey, big ups to y'all for y'all patience, because I don't know if I can do that.
Patience is key though, in any
So,
type of.
oh yeah.
Want to
My
talk about
bad.
patience? No, I was just gonna say patience is key, with anything you do in life. We've talked about this many times before. Taking a step back, looking at the big picture,
Mm-hmm.
and just like plot out your course for what's next. Uh, a lot of people have goals, dreams, and aspire to do great things, but they don't necessarily have the guide to get there. The blueprint to
Yeah,
uh navigate to their destination.
yeah. And it's hard to make that blueprint if you don't know what you're doing too.
Ooh, facts.
Yeah. It is hard, bro. Like I sat down and tried to do a checklist one day, man, and I was like, all right, so I need to do this. Like I had a whole 25 items on this checklist, and I'm like, I need to do all this, get all this done. And then by the time I sat down and started working on it, I realized that the check boxes ain't had nothing to do with the other check boxes. And I'm like, all this was it was a waste of time. Like it's not, it
Mm,
won't the fact that it won't effective things to spend my time on. It was the fact that they weren't focused. Like they ain't had nothing to do with each other. So like once you get all of it done, you just got a whole bunch of little tasks done, but you still got to work up to the big thing.
mm, mm. And it's it's interesting, right? Because you can do all of that, and someone would count that as a win. Some people would count that as a win. Like they would have these small little achievements or whatever that kind of have like nothing to do with the big goal or the big dream.
Yeah, nothing.
Uh, but they'll count it as a win, and they'll live their life. Oh, I didn't do what I said I wanted to do, but I did X, Y, and Z. I
Right.
still did something that made me feel good in the end. It might not have been something that's gonna get me out of the 9 to 5 or the rut that I'm in, but it made me feel good. This challenge or whatever made me feel good.
Mm-hmm.
Which,
Yeah.
however, that you know,
You remember we talked about that on the podcast before too, like
mm,
because I was I guess I got pissed at people trying to like compare their the things that they do on a day-to-day basis to how much we work.
mm,
And like we talked about the folks who when they get up in the morning they check in the box. Like they check a box on I got up this morning. Meanwhile, you got two guys who are in the same boat as you who waking up every single morning early. Um, do a podcast once a week, marketing a podcast, marketing books, writing a storybook universe, creating video games for that storybook universe on top of the video games that you want to create for your own thing. Writing coaching plans and all this other stuff, and like you try to like make this check mark of you went to work today on time and stack it against the fact that this person woke up early and did like 17 things before you even got to make it to work. It's frustrating, bro, because people when it happens, and I notice that when it happens that people they want to be praised on the fact that they checking off boxes, regardless of how big the achievement is in the box.
Ooh, that reminds me of a statement. I forget where it came from. Some people say it, some people follow it. Like, why should you get praise over something you were supposed to do?
Right, right.
Like,
I feel it.
and I guess it depends on the person and like many different situations and scenarios. But like
Mm-hmm.
some people will take literally like the minuscule things of life and just like just run with it. Like, oh, I woke up, I was breathing, I took a shower, brushed my teeth, all this other stuff. And that's a good thing. That's something you're supposed to do. Take care of your hygiene. Take care of yourself and
Oh,
all that other
boy.
stuff. But like you should be able. There should be something in your brain to like hold different stuff to like different standards. Like the things
Yeah.
we're doing, like it's exciting. Like it gets the blood pumping. Like you start hyperventilating sometimes when like you're on a road with something. You're like, yo, I could do this. I got this going. I'm like, yo, what can I do next? What can I add to this? Like you just sitting there like just plotting, but like somebody comes and just like, oh well, I went to work today. That was exciting.
And then you don't even do that right because you're looking for
What?
VTO
Right? Like you looking for every little excuse to get by
to
and
get out of
work.
that.
And it just reminds me like the things we say, in almost every episode. How you do anything, you do everything. So like you take that and you just move through life with that same attitude. Like every little thing is a win. And like say you get in a relationship with that type of mentality. Say,
Mm-hmm.
oh, we're dating. That's a win. But like, what are you doing to keep her engaged? What are you doing to make that significant other feel loved? What are you doing at the end of the day to just show that you care? Yeah, y'all dating. That's second nature.
That's
That
nothing.
comes with the title. Like that's not.
Like, you just wanted some ass, so I mean, of course you dating now. Like,
And that too. Like some people get into situations like just literally just fall into them. Like it, and then you count that as a win. Like you gave into your fleshly urges, and now you're with you're with this person that you have no intentions of like playing the long game. You're just
yeah.
there. You're just there in that relationship. You're just there in that job, and you're just doing
Mm-hmm.
any and everything to just get by.
Like what I'm starting to see right now is like if your environment never showed you anything different than like that's just you,
Mm,
and you have all the tools and knowledge to get out of that, right? But for whatever reasons, like that crab in the bucket mentality just come back and start biting you in the ass where you start hanging around people like Mr. Don't have kids or you're gonna die. You start being around people like that where it's like
what?
they don't do anything on a consistent basis.
Mm,
So like the longer you don't do anything, it's almost like it's almost like G-force, right? So you on a roller coaster, right? You like woke up on a roller coaster and the roller coaster was already going down the hill.
mm,
Once you get off of that joint, you're gonna be feeling like everything else is slow motion.
mm, mm,
But in at the opposite effect, if you sit still and then all of a sudden a roller coaster just gone, just 140 miles per hour, it's a joke. Like so
mm.
everything starts to feel like you moving fast when you're doing something. So I don't think this is a problem of people actually take like checking off small things. I think it's a problem of people doing so little in their day-to-day life that everything that they do starts to feel like something big and like a huge accomplishment whenever they start doing it. It don't matter what it is. Like no matter how big or how small it is, they can't tell the difference of if it's a small win or a big win. And the reason I know this, Mark, like it's kind of is by experience, right? Because when I first started making moves, I couldn't tell what a win was. I was
Mm-hmm.
confused because I wasn't moving. So now that I'm moving, now that I'm like, all right, I mean, it was a little bit different for me because I'm like, I know exactly what I want, so I need to make sure that I do anything and everything possible. But at the opposite effect of that, somebody who be doing stuff, they just look at everything as a big win. It's like, oh, I got up and went to work on time today. Now I can go drink tonight. That's a reason to celebrate. Yeah, we did it. We got up. We went
Yeah.
to work today. We did it. We came back from lunch on time. We did it. We did it. We made it to 5:30 without taking VTO. We did it. We got a whole accomplishment. We got a whole list of accomplishments over here. And these are things like Mark said, it's just stuff that you're supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you signed up for the code of conduct. That's what you're supposed to do and stay until 5:30. I mean, I'm just being real, bro. Like when you ain't moving, it shows because like you start looking at everybody else like you standing on the median in a NASCAR race. Like everything around you was just like all the other people around you was just like zooming around the track, and you just kind of sitting still because you ain't doing nothing. So instead of just getting in your car, you standing next to your car. Instead of just getting in your car and just driving with the other people and doing what they do, you throwing out spike strips, trying to stop everybody else from doing what they doing.
Big facts. Big facts. And it kind of reminds me of I know we want to stray away from video game terminology, but I was gonna say like a rank system. But it's almost like the glass ceiling, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So you have people that break through their glass ceiling, and then it's more and more that you have to break through, right? And then once you break through it, you can't really fall back. Like it feels some type of way when you feel yourself, slipping into, going
Mm-hmm.
backwards, because you know that you can do so much better. You know that the journey is like this invigorating, just like thing that you can do, right?
Yeah.
And you have people that are on like kind of lower levels, and they're like you said, the crab in the bucket. They're trying to, take these little steps trying to get to the glass ceiling. But it's all about, momentum. That's what you need to break through your glass ceiling, or you just gonna fall back to, level one. You're gonna fall back to the ground basically.
Mm-hmm.
And what that looks like is, doing something that gets you out of your comfort zone, learning a new task, and just like, you know, putting that what you learned to action. Like writing a book, you learned how to write a book, you read the book, then you had to do the publishing boy, then you had to do the marketing boy, then you had to, put it up for sale, you got to get it printed and all this other stuff. Now there were many tools that, did a lot of that for you, but it still something had to be done to get that ball rolling. And that was that momentum that broke through more and more glass ceilings.
Oh, that's deep. That's deep. And then like for real, and I heard something today that I want to take it into a different gear, right? Because
Mm,
like I know what it is when people don't want to move. I know exactly what it is because you you think that because you've never moved before, you just kind of standing still. You got the cobwebs on your legs,
mm,
bugs just kind of crawling on you, just doing whatever, right? You feel that because you've been standing still for so long that you can't make an impact if you start moving. So because you feel like that, you just refuse to move because it's almost like and my man told me right. My man said that this world is huge. It's big. There's a lot of people doing a lot of stuff, a lot of different things. So why should I try to do anything and make anything move or make anything happen? Because there's so many people doing so many things that anything that I do will be insignificant. So on a big on a similar scale,
Mm-hmm.
most people feel like that because it's the fear. That's pretty much like straight up fear of failure. Like
Mm-hmm.
I don't care how you put it. Like you don't want to succeed because you're afraid that you're going to fail. Like that's exactly what that is. So with that being said, it's like because you're not moving, you're afraid to move. But because you haven't made a move yet, is the reason why you don't have the confidence to make a move in the first place. So it's like when you're trying to get a job and you coming out of college and they telling you that you need 2 years experience. It's like, yo, what came first, the chicken or the egg? Like, you
Big
telling me I
facts.
gotta make the move, and if I make the move, then I'm gonna be comfortable enough to make the move, but I'm not comfortable enough to make the move at this moment because I never moved before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. 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 Like you get all the book smarts to do a task, to learn a job, to do something in life, and then once you actually try to apply it or go do it, they're like, oh well, we need somebody that has 2 to 5 years of experience. But where are you gonna get that experience from if you've never done it? Uh,
Right.
and that's where putting yourself out there uh comes into play, and actually just doing it. Like literally all the experience comes from is just doing it. And in the job term, it's more of like your internships and your
By the
freelance
way,
work.
like school make you think that like you like it's just job. Like not school, but when you applying to jobs, they make it
Mm.
seem like it's just job related stuff. Like
Oh, true.
there's people out here doing stuff on YouTube, and it's like, okay, you have at least 2 years experience of this, and I'm like, I did YouTube. Okay, that's cool. We can do that. Like
Yeah.
people literally like, but school make you think that it's just work stuff. Like I
Mm-hmm.
don't know.
No, that's true facts. I had a buddy that he was a mechanic, basically no training, right? So he knew his way around the car. And he went to the shop one time, and they was like, any mechanic work? Told him the truth. He was like, hey, I know my way around the car. I don't know a lot, but I can learn. They gave him a job, and my man's out here, souping up little Subarus and little hatchbacks and whatnot.
Bro, I'm serious. I brought up Think and Grow Rich in my interview when I got my promotion.
Come on.
Like I was just like, all right. So you want to know why? You want to know if I can think big? Let me tell you
Mm,
how big I'm thinking.
hey, let's go.
I started talking about the Think and Grow Rich book, and I asked my interviewers if they ever read it. I'm like, yo, y'all should really read that. I said like it changed my life. Like it's probably one of the biggest reasons as to why I bought or got the confidence to even go for a position like this when I used to be so timid. Of course, I'm ready to learn. There's your experience.
There
Yeah.
you
Okay. All right.
go. Yeah. Yeah.
So look, check this out, right? Most people are thinking that you gotta be 100% fearless
Oof.
in order to make any move ever. 100% fearless. Now, I don't put myself in as many positions as I should be, or as I should, to experience this torture, right?
Mm,
Um, the agonizing feeling of not wanting to mess up something when you're doing it. Um, Whatever that means to you. Like some people, it's public speaking. Some people is putting your ideas out there, talking about your ideas to people who can actually make a difference to your idea, who can help you push it, help you develop it, help you make it grow. Like whatever the case is, like putting your foot forward to make it known that this is what you're doing, this is what you have your hands on. But some people are feeling like I can't do this until I'm completely fearless. And I'm here to tell you right now that it ain't a thing that I wake up and do in front of my computer on a daily basis that I don't feel fear of doing before I do it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I wish it was more stuff, but like being real, like I am constantly trying to look for more things to be afraid of because once you actually do those things, once you actually make those things happen, that is when you're in a place of bliss. That is when you're in true bliss, when you can accomplish something that you didn't think you can accomplish. Do you know what that does to your psychology? Do you know what that does to a person? Like just like I for real, like I listened back to the podcast just off of the earlier episodes and just like listening to myself, like yeah, I like to hear myself talk for anybody who want to make a joke about that. But just listening to myself, right? Like I went back and started listening to the podcast from like episode 30 because I told y'all before that I'm working on this book right now that I'm taking from principles that me and Mark talked about on the podcast. But just listening to the person that I was before I started making moves to the person I am now, it is a completely different human being. Like it didn't even take 7 years for that growth period to happen.
Big facts. Big facts. It reminds me of the saying of like courage isn't 100% without fear. It's the moves you
Mm-hmm.
make in the midst of fear. Because fear is it's a part of life. It's a mechanism to keep you safe. Your brain does it all the time. The reason you don't put your hand on the stove anymore because it's hot. Your brain doesn't want to go through that pain. So it does things to make you fearful. Same thing with heights. Your brain knows that hey, if we fall,
We did.
yeah, we dead. We don't want to fall. So your brain puts these signals in place to keep you in its comfortable spot because that's where it likes to
Mm-hmm.
be. It likes to be still. It likes to be comfortable. It likes to be safe. But to
Yep.
to make it big in life, you got to take those risks. You got to take fear head on and just dive right into the unknown. What would you better say?
Like somebody told me once before, like when I was a little younger,
Mm,
I told them that I was kind of a nerdy kid back in school. I wasn't really that good with the ladies back in the day. So it was amazing, a wonder that me and Alyssa ended up getting together, but that's neither here or there. But I told this guy that I was bad with the ladies, and he asked me. He said, "So let me ask you this. You said you were bad with ladies when you were in school. Why?" I said, because I was afraid of being rejected. So he's like, so you feel fear when you get rejected, right? I was like, yeah. I mean, I used to, but it's not so bad now. He's like, all right, cool, got you. So let me ask you this. He said, would you say that being afraid of being rejected by a girl that you knew when you were a child was the worst fear that you've ever felt in your life? I was like, nah, absolutely. I grew up in the hood, bro. Like, what you talking about? And he said, all right, with that being said, if that wasn't the worst fear in your life, what would you say the worst fear in your life was? I said, I got held up by gunpoint once and got robbed. It's like, all right, cool. Did you know that that fear of being held up at gunpoint and being rejected by that young girl while you were in school is the same exact feeling? There is no difference. There is no level of fear. There's only one fear, literally one emotion. That's it. So when it comes to doing the things that you want to do, instead of looking at it as, oh, this is the worst fear that I've ever had in my life, just think about the last thing that you were afraid of, the most irrational thing that you were afraid of, and just look at the fear as that. I think that's why they tell people that imagine the crowd in their underwear when they're on stage or something. Like I don't know if that really worked for people, but they used to say that. But if you look at the fear of the thing that you want to do as something irrational,
Mm-hmm.
and you just do it anyway, eventually your confidence is going to be so far through that the fear would eventually turn itself into an irrational fear anyway. And then you'll know it's irrational. And then you'll just be like, I don't even know why I was afraid of that in the first place.
Big facts. Big facts. Uh. Hmm. So with that, how would you tell somebody that, like, all right, I'm fearful of addressing what I need to address to push me
You're
forward.
afraid of addressing the elephant.
You're afraid of addressing the elephant. That the elephant is huge, but I know deep down that when I address it and when I get past it, that things are going, open up. My life is going to seem to get better. What what would you tell that person?
I don't know. But that scenario, that particular one right there, it's a lot of things that's dependent on that. Like there are some things that I would need to know first. Like if you had like a more in tune, like detailed like scenario or something, like I would be able to go in on it. But like I would tell whoever who's going through that you're going to deal with it anyway, whether you want to or not. You might as well take the reins into your own hands and just go ahead and attack that joint. Because like whatever your elephant is, like I don't care what it is. I've never seen a situation where you got you have a thing that you need to do that you can just straight up hide from and just decide that you don't want to do it and it don't come back and bite you in the tail. Like I ain't never saying that. Just me
Hey,
personally, I ain't never saying it. So like you might as well just go ahead and face it. But whatever it is, you might as well just go ahead and take it on the chin, take the L if you need to. It's almost like dudes who they cheat on their significant others and then like they try to hide it when the evidence is all there. Like you got a whole baby by another human being, and somebody that's calling you daddy in a whole different location that's not your household, and you just think you're gonna hide it. How long are you gonna hide it? Like I'm just trying to figure that out. Like how long did you think you were gonna hide it? Like I'm just being real. Like I ain't got the energy to be trying to
juggle.
like do like juggle two lives. First of all, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I ain't got the energy for that. I'm not no coordinator. I'm not a secretary. I can't create no itineraries for nobody. I ain't got all the answers like that. So like for real, you can only hide behind a problem, but for so long.
Thanks.
Like hiding behind a problem is like trying to hide behind a toothpick. Like that, in my opinion, like it's like trying to hide behind a toothpick. Like it just don't work. Like your situation, you got the elephant here in front of you. You're trying to hide behind the toothpick so the elephant don't see you, so you ain't gotta address it. Cause you like, all right, if I don't see him, then he can't see me. So you just trying to like put the toothpick in front of your eyes, like just trying to hide yourself. Like it just don't make sense to me. So you had to come out from behind that twig and address that boy, cause he ain't going nowhere.
Big facts. Henry is here to stay. Uh, and he's there to be addressed. Like uh he wants to be addressed. He wants to be acknowledged. Like you have to
Hmm.
acknowledge the elephant in the room. You have to
Hmm.
address that. Hey, I can't move forward until I get over what's in front of me.
Yeah.
Whichever obstacle, whichever mountain you have to climb to get to where you need to go is gonna be there whether you like it or not. Like, uh, we ain't got superpowers. We can't terraform the land in front of us. We can move mountains, but you need a lot of momentum. Uh,
I don't know if you went for a Aether Universe reference or not, but I love that you did that. It just made my heart smile a little bit, if I'm being honest.
uh, but yeah, like just be willing to take more risks and to take things head on. Um, it is scary. A lot of the things we do are scary because it's foreign to us. But just
Yeah.
imagine the people that have done it before you. You know, there's a guy out here writing books what every day. He writes a book every day or every week, or he used to.
Excuse me?
The famous artist guy, he wrote a book a day or something, or a book every week.
I don't know about a book a day. I know you talking about James Patterson, what I talked about, wrote 17 books in 1 year.
Maybe, might be him, might be. I don't know,
I don't know
but
about a book a day. That's You know how much cocaine you got to be on to do that?
jeez. But there are people doing, immaculate things out here that are doing your dreams, your goals at a very high level, and all it takes for you to get on their level is just to try. It's just to do.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, man. How long have we been on? I don't even know what time
Uh,
we started.
40 minutes. We 43 minutes in.
Okay. All right. So look, it's crazy that we didn't talk about anything that we said we were going to talk about from the last episode that we did.
This is true.
It's absolutely insane that happened. I don't know. I don't even know how it happened. Um,
We just got
so as we
talking.
said before, ladies and gentlemen, we are re-recording a episode of the Dirty Trunk Podcast. We got back in the studio this week, and it didn't go as planned. Audio, the
A lot
video
of
came out
lot of
okay.
technical difficulties.
Yeah, the video came out okay, but the audio just didn't do what it was supposed to do. And I think next time, we just need to we just need to use the pod track. I forgot we even had that for a second, bro. Like I looked down at it just now. I was like, yo, why didn't we just use that? But anyway, it is what it is. We kind of talked about we kind of went into the same direction of that, but like there's another thing of like talking about values and stuff like that, bro. It just there's a conversation that never gets old because people just keep doing this and saying the same stuff. Like I'm just
Yeah.
trying to figure out like, well, how is it that if you got a passion, how it makes sense to say that I'm not going to pursue my passion because of somebody else out there already doing it.
Mm. Yeah. Or somebody's doing it better than I can ever do it. When you have your own mind, your own individual thought process,
Yeah, yeah.
you have this unique thing about you. If you want to acknowledge it or not, it you do something that only you can do uniquely.
Hmm. But that's also another thing that I want to address too, because you said that right. But like the one thing that pissed me off about humans is that humans believe, like most humans just believe automatically that the thing that they're going through is the
Is
only
the
time
only
it's ever been going through. Like the fear that you feeling, the anxiety that you feeling about what you want to do, like you were just the only one in the world that ever gone through that. Or if you want to take it a step deeper, whatever's happening to you or whatever happened to you, the things that you are using as excuses, you think that you can't talk about them to get past them because you can't address the elephant. You're afraid to address the elephant because you feel like nobody else would understand what you're going through.
yeah, yeah. Like even though we have a unique way of getting into a problem, it's still a problem that everybody has. Just like you said, everyone is fearful. Everyone
Mm-hmm.
is afraid of something. Now it might
Mm-hmm.
be a very unique something. Clowns, fear of heights, fear of uh rejection. There's some people out here that can literally talk the jaws off of whoever they're trying to talk to.
You
Um,
said talk the draws off.
talk the
Come on,
jaws
bro.
off like it.
Come on, bro.
And a lot of times it's just pure honesty. Like you'd be surprised how easy it is to just, this is how I'm feeling. If you feeling the same way, we can go back to my place and do whatever. Literally, somewhat that easy. But that's neither here nor there. All it takes is the courage to move through that fear, move through that anxiety, and just do whatever you need to do to
Mm,
lift yourself up.
yeah,
Uh, and sometimes that takes seeking outside help. Uh, a lot of times it really just depends on your character. If you have to go through to
it
therapy,
takes
if
listening
you
to the
have
Dirty
to
Trump podcast,
listen to the Dirty Trunk podcast to get that oomph you need to push through those obstacles. Do that. Do that.
jam it in there.
Big
We got
facts.
100 and this will be 155, 156,
155.
55. Yeah,
Yeah.
we got 154 episodes at the moment for you to binge for you to binge listen to. 55 including this one. So I mean, I'm just saying, like, you just go back and hear them. Hey, you can watch our growth too. You can continue watching our growth. But the thing is, like, this is a free platform that, like, we're the
Mm-hmm.
closest to the people, or who. All right, let me say this. Let me get this right as I'm saying it. Right, we are the closest to your problem that we will ever be.
Big facts.
What do I mean by that? You better take advantage of the fact that we still got 9 to 5s right now. Just saying. Just saying. Because at some point, at some point, this is not going to be a we're going to be too busy. Like, I'm just thinking, like, imagining the things that we're going to go through when like at the end of all this, like
Mm-hmm.
whenever I don't know, man, like I just can't imagine this going to be this way for this long. So I would love for people to take advantage of the fact that right now we are still on the ground floor, and that we are so close and have the amount of time that we have to do the things that we can do at the moment. So, like, I just want people to take advantage of that, bro.
Big facts. Because we still doing this virtually. Uh, we don't have I mean, we have a set studio, but we're doing this for you guys because we are the closest to you guys. We relate to you guys. We're in the same boat. We work a 9 to 5, and we're trying to get out of it. We're trying to build our dream homes, our dream careers. We're all doing that from the ground floor. So continue to watch us grow as we try to help y'all grow as well.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, because what you said, we are
Two
two
average
regular
guys
guys, two
trying to
average
live.
guys trying to do phenomenal things,
Hey
and I
man,
love that, bro. I love that. We two average guys trying to do phenomenal things, and real talk, like, as we are trying to do these phenomenal things, I want the people who are listening to us, and as we say these messages right now, I want people to understand that we are here for them. We are here for you. Like, we put all this energy into doing this podcast every single week for free. For free. We know it's helping people. I know people personally that our words have touched. Like, and I ain't trying to be, I'm not trying to be that dude, but, like, I just know that there's more people out there that want to do things, and I'm tired of seeing, bruh, I'm personally tired of coming across people who have been so jaded and so hurt by the world that they feel like there's literally nothing that they can contribute to the world, bro. Like, it's making me, it's making me sick inside to know that there's people out there who feel like that, bro. Like, and I just want to do as much as I can do about that, because I understand where you're coming from, bro. I used to be there. I feel you. Like, before I started getting exposed to everything that I've been exposed to, I've been there. Like, I've been feeling that. Like, I've gone through times in my life where I was like stuck in my own head trying to figure out which way was up. Like, I couldn't even, like, damn, trying to see a vision. Like for real, damn that. Like that didn't even come first. Like a vision didn't even come first. I didn't even get there until we started making this podcast. I didn't even get there until I was able to find where the ground was. I was just floating in darkness. For a long time, I was floating in darkness, and I didn't get exposed to anything because I was floating in that darkness. So right now, I would love this podcast to help people understand that there is more to darkness. Like you don't have to just be stuck in the dark for the rest of your life. Like I want people to understand that. That's why we do this podcast for you guys every single week for free. Haven't charged a thing for this podcast. Haven't even, bro. We still get like we so much on the ground floor right now that we still get nervous asking for a check right now. Like we don't we still here with you right now, and I want to be here with you as long as I possibly can. But I just want you guys to understand that this is a growth process, and that you need to come along for the ride, not to benefit me. I don't care about that. I don't want you to join us to benefit me. I want you to join us on the free platform to benefit you, because if you get around people who you can have a conversation with and address that elephant with, then that's the first step to getting out of the darkness. That's the first step to finding true ground, and understanding that your eyes are closed and that you have the power to open your eyes. You don't have to ask for permission to do that, and that you can see a vision for yourself and do something for your future. That's what I want for you if you're listening to this episode right now.
Ooh. Amen. Amen. And with that, to kind of bring a small little nugget from the lost episode that you guys may or may not hear further down the line.
Is it
What
relevant?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right.
What he's talking about, especially with this podcast, we're trying to be that free, luxurious asset to you guys, so you guys can finally get out that funk, like you said, finally get out that darkness, because being in that darkness and trying to bring people down, all you're being is a very luxurious liability. uh you're only being a liability to yourself and the others around you, because misery loves company. You're gonna want people to feel that darkness, or at least be in that same boat as you, and they're trying to do bigger
Oh
and better
man.
things. So that has been the Dirty Trunk podcast. Mac, what we got coming up?
You just called the Dirty Trump podcast a free
Luxurious asset.
a free
Yes.
luxurious asset. That's hilarious, bro. That's hilarious. So what we got right now, I still need to work on some things to get a presentation prepared for Black Ink Con next week.
Hmm.
First presentation I've done in a while, so I'm nervous about that still. That y'all can I promise you, I ain't got no trouble speaking in front of people, but just to let you know, that feeling never leaves. It stays there. It stays there the entire time. That feeling is there to dictate it's there to keep you humble.
Mm.
But the moment that you stop feeling that fear, that's when things start to fall to shit. So I want y'all to remember that. You never stop feeling it. So next week, I got the first and this if I'm being real, this is the first time that I'm doing a speaking engagement based on my author career. So that's
Okay.
also a little bit nerve wracking because it's like I'm gonna be there with people who are who are better, and who people who have done a lot more, people who have been in the game a lot longer than I have. So I got to and they want me to do a class for these people. There's a group of people who all share the same interests. So I'm a little in my head about it, but we're gonna just get it done, get it knocked out,
Mm.
and we're gonna record it, and we're gonna make it a marketable thing for
Amen.
more people who can catch that message. So that's what I'm working on right now. That's all I got coming up. I've been working on this piece right here for a print for the Aether Universe. I don't know if I want to show it on the podcast, but I think I'm gonna save it for another day. I'm gonna show you after we done though. But yeah, that's all I got, man.
Alrighty. Be on the lookout for little clips of like little nuggets of the Dirty Trunk podcast. We're on Headliner, which uses audiogram to try to get our message out there. Just stay tuned for that, guys. This has been the Dirty Trunk podcast with Elephant as always. Welcome. It is me, your boy Marcus Morton. Always here with me is the Aaron Mack, and always remember, those who shy away from addressing the elephant in the room are doomed to be crushed by the weight of it. We love y'all.
Peace. Love y'all. See y'all next week.